Okay. My opening today
Mm-hmm.
involves a little bit of user interaction. Like our listeners are going to have to do something
Uh,
themselves.
okay.
They don't have to, but I want to show you something.
Okay.
Okay. So right now I'm showing Kate Google,
Okay.
right? You see how it looks? You see
That's
how the page
that's
looks?
Google.
Okay. Are you ready for something?
Um, I don't know.
Okay. Look at this. If you Google the word askew, the page goes askew.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
Isn't that weird? Look at how it's not straight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all
It's askew.
Wow.
So that's something I learned today.
Some mind-blowing shit.
Hi, welcome to Everything's Dumb. My name is Victoria.
I'm Kate.
And today we're talking about conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Get excited.
Oh, I've been excited.
However, the other night I went to a bar and participated in axe throwing.
Yay. I was hoping this would be your opening.
Have you ever done that before?
I have not. No. I've heard of it. I've seen
Yeah.
there used to be a place even closer because the place you went is downtown, right?
Downtown LA.
There used to be a place in the valley that did that.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
thought
this was
about it.
downtown. It was quite the trek.
Never
You never went?
did it though.
Okay. I thought that it would be something that I would just naturally be good at
Sure.
because I'm not super athletic, but I have like a little bit of hand-eye coordination.
Sure.
I have a little bit of strength.
Mhm.
I just figured I would be good at it.
Right.
I'm like a large white woman, right? Like
Filled with rape.
this has to be something that I can excel at. Right? Maybe there's some Viking blood somewhere in there.
Yeah,
like
sure.
my ancestors grew up in the woods. Like I feel like
Amazon.
yeah. Did not go well.
No.
No, but I didn't, lose any fingers. I didn't hurt anyone.
I that would have been quite
Yeah.
a berry of that lead if you were like,
I feel like I would have
so
opened with
also,
that.
Yeah.
Or I would have not mentioned this. I would have not brought this up at all.
See if our listeners are paying attention or our viewers.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good time.
Good.
But I showed up to the bar, of course, like an hour late. Because it was also it was like at the end of the workday.
Yeah.
So I was working.
Right.
And then they were like, get to this bar by 4.
Mhm.
And at 4, I was still in my apartment in North Hollywood working because it was a Thursday afternoon.
Right.
So anyway, I got there a full hour late. And then there was a woman who gives you a little bit of instruction, and she did not seem to love her job.
Or be good at it.
Yeah, I guess maybe she, like, if I fail, does that mean that she's bad at her job?
Yeah.
So I can pass along.
Oh,
Okay, so
for
it's
sure.
not my fault.
Didn't you say that she like gave you the wrong direction though? Like that was her whole job, was to direct you on how to do something.
Yeah, she
but
was
did
like,
the wrong
make
thing.
sure to throw it very lightly. And so I would like throw it very lightly and it would just kind of like arc to the ground.
Right.
And I was like, I think it's supposed to go in
Right.
the board over
Right.
there.
Right.
But anyway, I did get it in the board a few times.
Good.
Like it stuck in the board, which was cool. And then there was a really proud moment where I went up to get it out of the board. I keep calling it a board. It was like a wooden dartboard.
Right.
I don't know what it's actually called. But I went up to like pull it out and it was in there so deep, like I could not get it out.
Nice.
And again, I'm not a small person, and I like braced my foot against the wall, and I had all of my body weight like hanging off of this axe.
Jesus.
I would not come out of the wall. I had to like go back and forth. I had to like wiggle it out.
Like a Thor's hammer type situation.
Yeah. But I think that was probably my best throw. And then every other time it was just like, and the ground.
So who were you thinking of on that throw?
Well, I have one particular person that I've had to deal with in the last week and a half at work. Not one of my coworkers. like a customer type person. And he is really pushing me to the point of rage.
So
Uh,
that was helpful.
kind of feels like slamming my head into a brick wall every time I email him. You know, when you email someone and you want to use all caps,
Yeah.
but like you don't because you're a professional.
Oh, I have definitely written emails that I will never send, like fully written them out. Like you open up, I used to do it in the email and then I was like, this is way too risky.
No, that's risky.
I open up like a Word document and
Yeah.
I just fucking like write exactly
Mm-hmm.
what I want to say.
Yeah.
And then it helps me like get it out so that I can go write the email back in a professional way to a person professionally who deserves everything I said in the other one, but we'll never see that.
Yeah. I have a Google Docs like page, and at the top it just says drafts. And so when I'm writing out emails, I do the same thing. I write out my actual feelings.
Yep.
And then I will go in and replace half of the words just to make it sound a little nicer. But yeah, it's just a lot of like, I want to constantly say per my last email, but can you really say per my last email for 14 emails without it?
As
Anyway.
I've said, as I've mentioned.
Yes. As I mentioned in my very first email 11 days ago, whatever. So yeah, that was quite effective.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think maybe you should do that more often if you still have this much rage.
Yeah.
Get them all to stick in there that well.
It was fun. I do wish that people had not been watching me because I did get nervous. So
you couldn't go into your full like barbarian rage. Lame.
Yeah. You also don't really feel as badass throwing an axe when there's a woman like hovering. Be like, tucking your elbow. Nope. Non-dominant foot forward. I was like, let me live. Like, the axe is going to end up down there somewhere at some point.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like, let me just do it. Anyway, but it was fun. I think you would like it.
Yeah.
We could go axe throwing together.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so conspiracy theories.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about 5 different ones, but that would be too many.
We can do a volume 2.
Yeah. I have a full episode that I want to dedicate to one of them later on.
Sweet.
So I had to leave it out of this one.
Ooh. Stay tuned. So I remember at the last episode we said that the goal of this would be that you are going to convince me fully of one of these conspiracy theories by the end of the episode.
That theory is the one I'm going to do a full episode on another time. Are you disappointed?
Well, I guess that just means that if I'm convinced to one of these other ones, then you did an outstanding job.
Okay. There is a little factoid in one of them that a lot of people are like hanging on to.
Okay.
So we'll see. Maybe you'll believe it because of that.
I'm very excited.
Okay, so when I think of conspiracy theories, I think of them just being around for the last like 50 years or so, like basically JFK onwards. Like JFK, 9/11, the moon landing, stuff like that.
When did Area 51 happen? Was that around then?
That was in the 40s.
Oh, okay.
Well, the crash in Roswell was in 1947.
Okay. Yeah, that's maybe the OG in my mind.
Okay. They've been around for a lot longer than that, which it didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
But the basics of a conspiracy theory is that something happens, like a disaster or a natural disaster, like an earthquake or a flood or something, or the plague, and people are upset by it.
Yes.
And they are like traumatized and devastated, and they want to make sense of it. But sometimes you cannot make sense of a tsunami that wipes out half your town.
Right.
There's just like a giant waves that comes out of the ocean and there's no explanation for it. If you don't, especially back in the day when people didn't really understand like nature and science.
Yeah. I guess maybe that's like the OG if you think about it, like back when they thought that like demons were responsible for things that would just get you sick.
Yeah. So when people see something that they can't explain and they don't want to accept that the universe is just random and that things just happen, they want to come up with an explanation. And they, like, this is what the Greeks did with the idea of the gods.
Right.
Like, there's the god of thunder and the god of war and the god of the ocean.
So religion is the OG.
So religion is a conspiracy theory. Because people don't want to live in a world that they don't understand.
That's really funny. Yeah.
So
like,
when
the sun went away at night, it was because
it was a guy in a
happened.
chariot was pulling the sun across the sky. And in the morning, don't worry, he'll be back. Like, he has to make his journey.
And like how they used to have to sacrifice things for good crops and stuff like that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I guess I didn't, because there's no internet forum. Or there wasn't for those people. I just didn't lump that in conspiracy theory, but I guess it is all under that. Wow. Yeah. We're going to have to do several episodes on conspiracy theory.
I mean, I'm lumping it in.
That might be the new like topic of this podcast. It's just a conspiracy theory podcast.
So some episodes are capitalism and greed. Some episodes are just conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And then some episodes, I'm sure, will be both.
Stay tuned.
Also, how do I phrase this? So you know how they say that eyewitness testimony is not reliable because the way that you remember things is not reliable. Like, if you see two people get in a car accident, if you're questioned about it later, you might misremember who turned from what street.
Right.
Or which car was speeding, or if you see someone like grab someone's purse and run away, you forget what color shirt he was wearing, stuff like that. So the reason that a lot of history is quite hazy, even during times where things were recorded, like even a few hundred years ago, is because people at the time, people are very impressionable.
Sure.
And if someone hears something enough times, they might start to remember it happening that way.
Right.
And then they'll write it down. And then in 300 years, someone will read that.
Right.
And be like, well, that sounds crazy, but it's like documented history. So then all of a sudden that's what happened.
An old wives' tale.
Exactly.
Is the perfect example of this.
Yeah. So conspiracy theories have been around for forever, which I
since theories
did not know. Yeah. But it does make sense.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm only going to talk about 3 of them today. The first one is the JFK assassination.
Yes.
Which is a major one.
Right.
Like, that's a big one.
When you were saying like natural disasters and things, I also thought about like, or people dying, like Elvis.
Yeah.
Like Elvis is still out there, still alive. And yeah. Deaths can also be anything that people want to make sense of or blame somebody for.
Yeah. Well, I recently learned a lot about Lee Harvey Oswald, who is the guy who shot JFK. And
supposedly,
now that I know a lot about him, I'm like, it makes sense that he did it.
Okay.
Before I knew anything about him, I could have believed that. I mean, some people think that Lyndon B. Johnson, who was Kennedy's vice president, even orchestrated it because he wanted to become president.
Right.
Some people think the CIA was involved. Some people think the Cubans were involved or the Russians were involved. And then I learned about Lee Harvey Oswald and I was like, no, he did this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sure everyone knows JFK was assassinated in November of 1963 in Dallas, Texas. He was there to meet up with some Texas Democrats who were bickering. So he showed up to be like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
The head of the family is
right
here.
Now.
Yeah, like, so he landed in Dallas and then they got in the car and they were just gonna drive down this route and like wave to people and say hi, and then he was gonna meet up with the lawmakers and just hash everything out like behind closed doors and try to get along. But they advertised the route that they were gonna take because they wanted people to come like wave. They wanted it to be like a parade. So
last time that ever happened.
Yeah, people knew where he was going to be. Yeah. So quickly about Lee Harvey Oswald, this guy, this is why I believe that he did it by himself. I kind of feel bad for this guy. Like, his dad died before he was born. He had other siblings, and for some reason, they ended up in an orphanage, and then their mom had to like get them back. So I don't know if she like struggled financially, or I don't know what happened, but like he basically grew up in an orphanage until he was 5. So like that's traumatic, knowing that your mom is out there somewhere, but that you can't live with her. And then he grew up and like he tried to join the military, but he was too young. So then he came back later and they were like, okay, fine, you can come in. And he wanted to be a sharpshooter, like a sniper.
Yeah.
And he apparently was a pretty good shot, but then he wasn't a good enough shot to be a sharpshooter. So then he got downgraded to a marksman. I think that's correct. Maybe I have those flipped. But basically, he didn't reach the level that he wanted to reach. So he was good, but he wasn't as good as he wanted to be.
So he needed to prove himself to the U.S. government. Okay.
Yeah. But then he also tried to join the socialist movement in Texas, but they like didn't really welcome him. And then he tried to campaign for Castro, but then the Cubans were like, we don't really want you. And then he tried to...
Was he that bad of a shot?
He just was like a weirdo.
Oh.
And then he moved to Russia in like...
I did not know
in the late 50s, early 60s.
Jesus.
And he met a Russian woman and they got married. And then he was like, oh, living in Russia actually kind of sucks. Like, let's go back to Texas. Which, can you imagine telling a Russian woman who speaks no English, let's move to Texas?
I thought you were going to say, can you imagine being like, this sucks, let's go back to Texas? How bad is Russia?
How bad can Russia be if Texas is the answer? So he brought his Russian bride back to Texas and she didn't speak any English. But she made friends with a neighbor. So I guess it wasn't the end of the world for her. But then he like dragged her to Louisiana. And then that's when he tried to get involved with the Cubans. And they were like, we really are just not interested at all. So he was feeling very like down about himself. And then he tried to assassinate a general in the military. And this guy was not a good guy. This guy was like very right leaning, like not a decent person.
Right.
But like maybe don't try to kill him.
I just don't get that. Like, man, I'm feeling really bad about myself. You know what's a great pick me up? I'll try an assassination.
Murder.
What? Like, get a hobby, dude. I get you're a good shot or think that you are, but like.
He went to this guy's house.
Throw an axe at a bar.
Yeah. Well, that might not make him feel that much better because it's harder than it looks. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself.
Okay.
So he went to this guy's house and tried to shoot him like sitting at his dining room table, like from outside the house. But he accidentally shot the window frame. And so the guy was like, what was that?
Not a great shot.
Yeah.
Not a great shot.
Anyway, so then his wife left him because she was like, you're insane and you're trying to kill people. So she moved back to Texas and moved in with that neighbor lady. So then Lee Harvey Oswald was like, okay, well, now I really have to do something to make a name for myself. So then he went to Dallas and shot JFK. And let me tell you, the reason that this guy, I pity him because I think he's so stupid. So he shot JFK from a textbook depository.
Oh, yeah.
That's just where they keep textbooks.
Or make them? I don't know.
So some tall building.
Yeah.
Something to do with textbooks.
Right.
And after JFK was shot, a police officer met up with the superintendent of that building and they started to walk up the stairs and Lee Harvey Oswald came down the stairs. And the superintendent was like, oh, he works here. He just started working here last month. He's fine. So they let him go.
Oh, my God.
And then he was walking down the street in Dallas and he ran into a cop who was just questioning people on the street because the president had just been shot.
Right.
So the cop was like, hey, like, what's your name? And he pulled out a gun and just shot the cop and killed him.
Jesus Christ.
Instead of just making up some story or lying about his name or whatever. And then he went to a movie theater and snuck into the movie theater. And so the people who worked at the movie theater saw him and called the police because he didn't pay for a ticket. And they were like, oh, this is the guy who just shot that cop. So he got caught for assassinating the president of the United States because he then killed a police officer and then snuck into a fucking movie when tickets, what was a ticket in 1963? 4 cents?
Okay.
I don't know. But the point is, like, How stupid do you have to be?
I mean,
so bad at covering his tracks.
I don't know whether there was a good decision in there anywhere.
No, that was a rough day for him.
That was a bad series. Just a bad series of a series of poor decisions.
Yeah. Poor guy. You know, you just have to pay. Like, he's just so not capable of making a single good decision.
No.
Yeah. So people think that this maybe that he was either set up, like he did kill JFK, but he was like forced to do so or paid to do so by someone more powerful, or that he was only one of 3 shooters, like the lone gunman. The phrase "the lone gunman" comes from the JFK assassination because some people think that he was not a lone gunman. There were 3 like hobos who were accused of this crime.
Mm-hmm.
They were found to be innocent because they actually were in jail elsewhere at the time.
Yeah, that's going to make it hard to be there and shooting the president.
And at first, people thought that one of the hobos was Woody Harrelson's dad, who was a hitman. Did you know this?
No.
So the actor Woody Harrelson, who we love, his dad, and this is a fact, this is not part of the conspiracy theory, it is a fact that his dad was a hitman and that his dad served time in prison, and I don't know if he's still alive or not, but I think he was in prison for a long time for assassinating someone. And he killed like multiple people. Yeah. And Woody Harrelson does not talk about this.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really on brand for him.
Right. So at the time they found photos of these 3 hobos, and I had to Google this word to make sure that this is not a slur. It's not a bad word.
Okay.
And it refers to men who just like traveled on trains throughout the country.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Like, it's not an insult. Or at least it wasn't when I looked it up like a week ago.
Okay.
If times have changed since then, I'm sorry. It does sound like an insulting term, but according to the internet, it's not. But people thought that one of the guys looked like, I forget his name, but Woody Harrelson's dad.
Mr.
Harrelson. I forget his first name, but they thought that he looked like him. But then later it was not him. And those guys were innocent anyway. So there's something called the Warren Commission, which took place just the next year, and it was chaired by Chief Justice Earl Warren.
Okay.
Lyndon B. Johnson commissioned the Warren Commission, which was an investigation into the assassination, and they concluded in their report that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. And then 2 days later, so JFK was taken to the hospital in Dallas and pronounced dead.
Okay.
2 days later, Lee Harvey Oswald was being like taken somewhere in handcuffs, and a man named Jack Ruby walked up to him and shot him in the chest and killed him. So Lee Harvey Oswald died at the exact same hospital that JFK died at 2 days later.
Crazy.
Yeah. So then people thought that Jack Ruby, who owned a nightclub, they thought that he was involved with the mafia and that this was like a mafia hit. And so that the mafia had gone to Lee Harvey Oswald, who was like a little bit of a loser, and been like, hey, we can help you make a name for yourself. Go assassinate JFK. And then once he got caught, the mafia was like, we got to tie up loose ends. But
then Jack Ruby's a loose end.
But Jack Ruby was like, I have nothing to do with the mafia. So.
Okay.
They claim that Jack Ruby was acting alone, that he was not part of the mafia.
Another lone shooter.
Yeah.
Lone shooter on lone shooter crime.
Yeah. So then there was the House Select Committee on Assassinations, which is one hell of a name. And that was in the 70s. And they found that there was a high probability that there was a second gunman, but they didn't know how to prove it. So they were just like, well, we think there was someone else, but that's all.
Well, that'll put all the conspiracy theories to rest.
I know. They didn't even have to say that.
No.
They could have just been like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, there's a high probability.
We can't prove anything, so we won't say.
But no, they like put that on paper.
Politicians.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some people think that the CIA was part of this. And they're like,
one of those people?
No, because First of all, you know my feelings on the CIA. I don't think that they're capable of this. Also, people are like, oh, the CIA did it. Like, release the files. And the CIA is like, if we assassinated the president of the United States,
don't think we would.
There would be no files.
Right. Don't think we would write that down.
No. There would not be even a half sheet of paper like ripped off with something. There would be nothing.
Yeah.
What files? Are you fucking kidding me?
And if we just ask nicely, they'd release them.
Then they'll be like, "Oh, okay. We'll do something right for the first time in history."
CIA.
Ridiculous.
We demand it.
Ridiculous.
Because if not, we won't vote you back in. Oh, wait, never mind. We have no recourse.
No, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
They just do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. No matter how many times they bungle the shit out of it and like destroy other countries and kill people.
Episode, perhaps?
I just don't want to end up in some gulag somewhere. Okay, so my second conspiracy theory is the Illuminati.
Ooh, fun.
This one is weird. It's hard to find information about the Illuminati because it doesn't exist, in my opinion. Do
you just haven't listened to enough Beyonce songs?
Oh, God. No, I don't really listen to Beyonce.
Apparently she's...
I know people have accused her of that. It's just because she's rich.
Yeah. And powerful.
Yeah. So the Bavarian Illuminati, which was founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt.
Yep. You're pronouncing that correctly. I know.
Well, you are of German descent, so you would know better than I. He was a law professor at the University of Ingolstadt in Bavaria, which is now Germany. What? Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt. So he started the Bavarian Illuminati, and he wanted to promote Enlightenment ideals. So basically, he wanted to take religion out of government, and he wanted the Catholic Church and kings to have less influence over people's lives.
Nice.
And I say, bravo.
What was his name again? I'm just kidding. Move on.
His first name was Adam. That's all you have to know.
Adam.
Yeah. He modeled the Bavarian Illuminati off of the Freemasons, which is an actual group that exists. Oh, their symbolism included pentagrams and the single eye, on the US dollar. I think people think that's part of the Illuminati. And then also goats.
Ooh.
So do you remember how in the animal biology episode, I was like, I feel like goats are used in a lot of like satanic symbology. Well, this isn't satanic, but it's like a secretive organization.
Yeah.
The modern Illuminati concept was created in 1965.
Okay.
Out of something called the Discordian movement.
Okay.
So there were these two guys in Texas. What a problematic state, honestly.
What a problematic combo. Two guys in Texas.
Yeah.
Nothing good is on its way.
Yeah. And they published copies of a little booklet that they made called the Principia Discordia, which, like, I'm assuming that that's like the Latin version. Putting something in Latin doesn't make it sound smart.
Yeah.
Like, you're just being douches, you know? So their goal was to actively try to cause mischief and spread misinformation. Oh. Like, that was their goal.
Two dudes in Texas.
They were like, we just want to spread lies. They're and like have fun.
They're internet trolls before the internet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So they would like pass out their little leaflets. Anyway, so two other men. I know. They're always the problem. One of them was an editor at Playboy.
Okay.
They wrote 3 books called the Illuminatus Trilogy. And in these books, they thought it would be funny to just shove in as many conspiracy theories as they could come up with so that people would read the books and be like, oh my God, everything that I've been told is a lie.
Right.
And this book is like telling me the truth. So they just did it because they thought it would be funny. And so they wrote letters to the press. And then they also wrote letters to Playboy and they published these letters because, again, one of them was an editor and he had that power.
Oh my God.
And they wrote the letters they pretended like the letters were from readers of the books.
Right.
Talking about how now like their eyes were opened to this whole new truth and how their lives had improved now that they aren't, like fucking sheep. It's so stupid.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So liars. Just liars.
So they created their own like troll farm.
Yeah.
In the form of just writing their own letters and then publishing them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they also started spreading the lie that Adam Weishaupt, who's the guy who started the Bavarian Illuminati, they said that he came to the U.S. because he started the Bavarian Illuminati in 1776.
Okay.
Which is a time when George Washington was alive.
Right.
They started the lie that guy came from Bavaria to the U.S., killed George Washington, and took his place.
Nice.
And ruled over the U.S.
Amazing. And everyone was like, then everything you're saying is true.
Yeah.
It must be.
Yeah. Because obviously that makes sense.
So, okay. It's not capitalism and greed. I think the underlying theme of this episode, the fix for a lot of these conspiracy theories, men need hobbies. Men need hobbies that aren't, let me go assassinate somebody in power.
Or like look up dumb shit on the internet.
Create an entire religion. It's like L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry. Have you seen that man's teeth?
Not lately, no.
My teeth are a little on the yellow side. They're a little crooked. I never had braces. My dad is English. I do not have the best genetics when it comes to teeth, but my teeth are fine. I go to the dentist, I brush them, I floss, whatever. That man, his teeth were like falling out of his mouth. How are you going to follow a religion that, first of all, doesn't even have a god? So like, it's not a religion. What are you talking about? But like, brush your fucking teeth.
Xenu, I think is the name of the god.
Xenu was like the alien who came to Earth, like whenever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time I see a picture of him, I'm just like, ugh. Why would you ever take advice from him? Ever. Ever.
I mean, I don't see his teeth as the most problematic thing, but.
No, but they're the first thing you see when you look at him. Before you even hear the ridiculous shit that comes out of his mouth, you see his teeth.
Does speed do something to your teeth?
I don't know. I'm not a drugs person.
Interesting.
Anyway, so yeah, that trilogy that they wrote, the 3 books, were turned into an 8-hour stage play.
Nice.
In Liverpool. And it launched the careers of the actors Jim Broadbent, who was in Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
He's like famous in the UK. And then also Bill Nighy, who was one of my favorite actors.
That's so fun. Not the science guy.
No. There's Bill Nye, the science guy, and then there's Bill Nighy.
Yes.
The actor guy.
Yes. So 8 hours. Is there an intermission?
I fucking hope so. I mean,
is it overnight?
I hope there are 6 intermissions. Does it take place over the course of a month? Those poor actors.
Wow. Everyone thought that the Snyder Cut was bad. Fuck. 8-hour play.
How long was
a long time for old people to sit there and not open candy.
Yeah.
That's a long time. What kind of bladders do you need on those actors?
I would not be able to make it through. I mean, I would need a nap.
I feel like we need another episode just about that.
Okay.
We need to know everything.
That's cool. I'll look that up. I love Bill Nighy. There was a former FBI director of the Los Angeles FBI.
Okay.
So you know how there's like the main one?
Yeah. The federal.
In Quantico. Yes. But every like major city has precincts. Their own department.
Yes.
Huh?
Precincts or whatever they're called. I know that's what they are for like cops, but I don't know if the... Sure.
Headquarters. There has to be a name.
A hub.
A hub?
I don't know.
I'm sure no one knows. We can call it a hub.
Yeah.
He was the director of the LA FBI hub. Yeah, that's definitely correct. So I found a video of him online saying that the Illuminati is real. And I was like, oh, fuck. But then I looked him up and he had a legit career in the FBI. But as his career came to an end, he just dove headfirst into conspiracy theories. And he retired from the FBI and then started like writing books about conspiracy theories. And he went on like lecture circuits and like he just went crazy.
But did something that he saw in the FBI make him crazy?
Maybe. I mean, I guess I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure that he's lying. I just feel like if he was telling the truth, it would have gotten a lot more attention.
Well.
And or he would have been murdered immediately.
They don't want it to get attention. If they can just discredit him,
yeah,
they don't need to murder him.
Yeah. You sound like a conspiracy theorist. The last one for today is the moon landing.
Nice.
This is a classic.
Okay, this is a hobby. This is a hobby. These men have hobbies.
Okay.
The conspiracy theorists don't have hobbies.
Yes. Okay, so the moon landing. So Russia, our enemy, they put Sputnik 1 into orbit in 1957, which kickstarted the English language is difficult. Which kickstarted the space race. Now,
you're not even saying anything in Russian right
now. Sputnik.
I know you got that out nice and easy.
Sputnik is a Russian word. I actually thought that the name of the
I was trying to wait. I was like, I'll try not to move that much in case she can edit around this pause. But when it just like, when it kept going, so I didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do either. Wait, what is it called?
And all I'm seeing is just a circular hand motion. And I don't know how do I can't help.
No.
The name of the...
No one can help at this point. Oh my God, I'm so sweaty.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So shut up. What? Okay, let me just Google this. I have to know.
Oh my God.
A satellite. Sputnik was a satellite.
Yes.
Problem solved. Okay, so I thought that Sputnik was just one satellite.
Oh, yeah.
The word Sputnik means fellow traveler. So Sputnik 1 was the first satellite that was put into orbit in 1957. They had like a whole series of Sputniks.
Oh.
And that the name of a Russian satellite is a Sputnik.
Oh.
It's a little disappointing.
Yeah, that really makes it less special.
Sorry. My friend growing up, his dog was named Sputnik, which I thought was so cute. And then in high school, I learned about Sputnik from Russia. And I was like, oh, interesting thing to name your dog in the 90s. Like not that far removed from the space race. So the US and Russia were pitted against each other during the Cold War. They wanted to see who could get to space the fastest because it was just like a pissing contest.
Yep. Cool.
Don't you think every woman in the room at the time was just like rolling her eyes?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is this really so important?
Like, it would be so much less expensive if they just both pulled down their pants and compared.
Yeah, and faster.
Yeah.
And a lot less space junk.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of trash floating around in space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Americans were anxious after Russia launched Sputnik because they thought that
America.
Yes. Well, obviously, because this is the greatest country that has ever existed throughout history, we have to be the first and the best. So if another country does anything that's better than us, it freaks us out. Yeah. The public equated space achievements with military and technological power. So that means that Sputnik being launched into orbit represented the threat of superior Soviet space technology.
And it was like a full inch longer.
Yeah. Like an inch and a half at least.
That's what that meant.
Yeah. Well, also they thought that if they could launch a satellite into orbit, they could launch a missile.
So there's a little bit of a
Yeah.
threat too.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Russia may have launched a satellite into orbit, but America put the first humans on the moon in 1969. Which again, why can we do that, but we can't have a microwave that fucking only beeps once when it's done, or you open the door and it stops beeping, or like it heats your burrito evenly? No? Not an option?
Can we get in a competition with Russia over that? Is that what we need to do?
Oh, yeah. That might, yeah. If we just find some like engineers at GE and tell them that some Russian scientists are working on it, then they'll get that shit done.
Yeah. We can use AI to like fake a video of Russians doing all this cool shit and be like, I guess they're better than us? I don't know. And then,
I like it.
Cool.
Have you ever heard of, this is not a conspiracy theory, this is true. Have you ever heard of Project Paperclip?
I don't think so.
So, the Nazis...
Is that what Clippy's a part of?
I hope not.
Okay.
The Nazis had scientists.
Sure.
Who worked on really horrible things during the Holocaust.
Right.
In case that was not clear. And when World War II started to come to an end and a lot of the scientists saw the writing on the wall, they were like, hey, people. America, I'm really sorry about the war crimes. Can you maybe take me in and I'll help you? Yep. And America was like, oh, we have zero morals. Sure, come on over. So there's something called Project Paperclip, which the scientists would submit their application to come to the United States. And they put, I want to say the CIA, because I just love to pick on them. And also it has the word operation in it. So that makes me think it was the CIA.
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be the Department of Agriculture. They were busy measuring women across the country. So they were held up at the time.
That's a nice callback.
Thanks.
Measuring women. The Department of Agriculture. What business do you have? Okay, so they put people in. I'm going to pretend I know that this is accurate.
Sure.
I'm going to say the embassies.
Okay.
Whoever reviewed the applications for people to come to the U.S.
Okay.
Embassy seems like that's where that might happen.
Okay.
So they put some people in the embassies who were like in the know, and it would be a multi-page application. And so there would be a paperclip like in the left-hand corner so that you could turn the pages to like read. And so these people had a list of names, and whenever a person who was on the list would come across their desk, they would move the paperclip to the other side.
Okay.
And then that meant that their application would get approved and they could be brought to the US.
Gotcha.
So NASA was all of a sudden full of Nazi scientists. And that's how we got to the moon.
And they all had paper clips.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank Nazis for getting us to the moon. Yeah. Really? Okay.
I like that story about it being the black women that weren't allowed to be in the same...
And Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
That weren't allowed to use the same bathrooms.
Yeah. Well, they weren't even allowed to be in the same building.
Oh. That was a good movie.
But yet the fucking Nazis were just...
Yeah.
At urinals next to the...
Well, because they're white.
Ugh.
I mean, forget the ethnic cleansing. They're white. So it's fine.
Okay.
My next episode is about American history and why it is dumb.
So that's going to be a 3.5 hour long podcast.
If I can cut it down, yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Do you want to just take like a decade and just do it a decade at a time and have that be like a Victorian piece of history?
Sure. Yeah.
Because then like your next, 10 episodes are
all about American
done.
History.
You got it.
Yeah.
And
I don't have to come up with new episode ideas for like 2 more months.
Yeah, there you go.
That is not a bad idea.
And then I'll just do things that aren't that because I don't want to do that kind of research.
Yeah, I think American history is so dumb to the point where I'm really dreading researching it. So I've kind of set myself up.
Just take a little
to fail here.
Little nugget at a time.
Little nugget. Well, if I do that, then I won't get to the Nazis for a long time. So that's good.
Darn. We'll just have to deal with our modern day Nazis until then.
Oh, God damn it. Conspiracy theorists think that NASA faked the moon landing because Russia had already beat us into orbit. So they think that the US couldn't get to the moon. So they were like, fuck it. Let's just pretend we did.
Right.
Because we have to be the first on the moon.
Right.
To make us look good.
Sure.
So that's why they think that it was faked. So a few reasons.
They think the Nazis really couldn't have done it. Is this like an anti-Nazi conspiracy theory? And I'm going to actually like it.
Well, I was thinking that out of any of them, this was the one that you might believe. In this episode.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So people think that it's fake because the flag that the astronauts planted, the U.S. flag, which, sorry, did you know that the American flag is called the Stars and Stripes?
Yeah.
What?
What did you think it was called?
Just thought it was called the American flag.
Okay. I mean, it's just another name for it.
Isn't that kind of stupid?
I mean, it's literally what's on the flag. So, yeah.
It just sounds so...
And then
1776.
Well, I think it was.
You know that those pants are made of wool.
The Confederate flag is the stars and bars. And we're the stars and stripes.
What?
You've never heard of the stars and bars?
No. The stars and bars?
You do need to do the American history episodes.
I hate American history. It's so dull.
And why are you doing an episode?
Because it's so dumb.
Okay.
The stars and bars?
Yeah.
You're making that up.
Okay. Google it. If I'm making it up. I make up a lot of shit on this podcast.
Wait, actually, I do want to Google that. I'll edit this out. The stars and bars. Okay, so the flag that they took up, the American flag, people saw the footage and said, oh, it waved in the breeze. And there is no breeze on the moon. Therefore, it was clearly filmed on Earth. Which, first of all, if it were filmed on Earth, it would have been filmed on a sound stage.
Right.
What fucking breeze is there on a sound stage?
Also, couldn't the air just have moved from
from just the person moving it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
because it did stay up, it wasn't
so
flat.
What actually?
It was
please don't.
It was sticking straight out, right? There was no gravity pulling.
Well, okay, so the reason that it stays up, and in the shape of a square, like a flag, is because there is a wire that they put across the top.
Oh, to keep it, make it nice.
Yeah,
okay.
Because there is gravity on the moon. It's not as strong as on the Earth. Which is why, they can walk on the moon, but they do bounce a little bit.
Right. Okay.
If there was no gravity, they would just float off into space. So,
I'm thinking of how high up the flag. I don't know.
If they had not put the wire in the top of it, it would just kind of hang.
Okay.
Maybe it wouldn't hang straight down like it does on Earth because there's not as much gravity, but it would still kind of just be floppy.
Yeah, I guess if you think about it, well, underwater, I don't know. I'm trying to picture it underwater where there's not as much gravity. I guess it would kind of just
Well, there's gravity underwater.
Not as much. You don't feel as...
Well, because you're suspended in water. There's still gravity.
Well, yes. Okay.
But water is a thing. When you're in...
You learn nothing else from today's podcast.
Water is a thing, you guys. You're welcome.
Please remember that water is a thing.
That'll be on the test.
Water, noun, question mark? Yes, thing.
Well, a boat doesn't sit on the surface of the water because there's no gravity underneath it. It's because water is a I don't know. I'm not smart enough to explain this properly. I understand it in my head.
Right. I'm not saying that there's no gravity underwater. It's just you don't feel the gravity.
Oh, yeah.
As much because
what does that have to do with the flag, though?
I'm just trying to picture it. I guess I figure like being underwater is kind of close to like what they feel because you would like bounce underwater.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I picture the flag underwater,
yeah,
it wouldn't stick straight out, but it also wouldn't hang completely down. It would probably just be like diagonally off to the side a little bit.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, we're getting hung up on the flag. You can cut all of this.
Well, the point is,
don't cut out the water's a thing, though.
That is important information. Yeah. Everyone needs to know about that. People say that it waved in the breeze. It did not wave in the breeze. There is a non-rigid wire, like a flexible wire that goes across the top.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they were bouncing over to the place to put the flag down, the wire was moving.
Yeah.
That's why that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing, and this one really made me laugh, is that a photo from one of the Apollo missions in 1972, I think, like not the original moon landing, but in the 70s, there's a photo of an astronaut, and in the foreground, there's a rock. And in the photo, this rock has what looks like the letter C stamped on it. And so conspiracy theorists were like, oh, that is a prop.
Mm-hmm.
And like A rock is over here and B rock is over there and
God.
C rock is over here.
Because that's how they label props.
I guess so.
Okay.
I mean, I've been on a few different sets and I've never seen a prop labeled like that because why the fuck would you? Because it's supposed to look like a normal thing. So to the point where at the end of the day, sometimes I was like giving my props back and I was like, what's mine? What's not mine? I don't remember at this point. So I should have stolen some shit, huh? That's only just now occurring to me. I did steal a lot of bobby pins. And when I say steal, I mean I would get home and then take 50 bobby pins out of my hair.
I don't think they were counting those.
Paid for by Netflix.
A bobby pin, B bobby pin, C bobby pin.
So this made me laugh so hard. So if you look at the original negatives from NASA of this that they used to print this photograph,
as I do every day,
the negative does not have this mark on it. They say that it was most likely a hair that like landed on the negative when they printed the photograph.
Nice.
Or it was potentially a smudge on the lens. And I just kept thinking, a smudge on the lens? A smudge on the lens, Summer? I can't believe that that's the reason they gave. But,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they also don't label props like that. So I just...
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a stupid reason. But then, and also people are like, well, if you left all this stuff up there, where is it? You can't see it without a telescope. You fucking idiot. In 2008, the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA for short, went to the moon for their own reasons. And while they were there, they took photos of equipment left behind by the NASA.
The NASA. Is that how they
Apollo missions.
So is that like Japan shaming us trashy Americans?
Well, yeah.
For just
so
I
was thinking
everywhere.
Like Americans will literally leave our trash everywhere,
well,
even
back
up
in
on the
60s,
moon.
That's like what you would just go to they had that scene in Mad Men where they went and had a picnic in the park.
Oh, yeah.
They just got up and like pulled their blanket and all the styrofoam plates and all the plastic forks and everything just sat in the park and they just brushed it off into the wind and then went back home.
Into the wind.
Into the wind that was there because it was not on the moon
The
or
wind will
underwater
take care of it.
where there is no gravity and octopi fly through the air.
Oh,
I just said so many
I don't
things to
even
make
know
Victoria
where
upset.
to start.
I said so many things to make Victoria upset.
With that. I don't think we have time for
You have
me
to
to
move on to your next thing.
If you were to believe in a conspiracy theory, what would it be? Like not just out of these three, any conspiracy theory.
Fuck.
There's also the Mandela effect, or like the simulation hypothesis.
Ooh. Okay, I don't know if this is okay. This is one of those things that I did not look up.
Okay.
I have not looked this up.
Okay.
But I did hear this one time. And so I choose to believe it.
Okay.
I'm sure this is going to be debunked so easily and so quickly. But, okay. So, you know how the year 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world because the Mayans
predicted it with their calendar?
Yes, because their calendar only went up to 2012. And the Mayans were predicting everything, and it was all going to happen. And the year 2012 was going to be like the end of the world, blah, blah, blah.
Which I was at the time not too upset about because it was my senior year of college. And I was like, I know that the final semester of college in the spring of 2013 is going to be absolute hell. So if we all die before then,
then that would be fine.
It won't be that bad.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that did not happen.
So then 2012 came and went and nothing happened.
Correct.
So the Mayans were supposedly wrong, right? But, okay, this is where the conspiracy theory comes in that I heard. We are not on the Mayan calendar. Like, the Mayan calendar was the, like, archetype for how we make calendars. They came up with, like, the months of the year and the days of the, like, they came up with all that stuff, but then we used the Gregorian calendar. So our 2012 was not the same as the Mayan calendar's 2012.
Please tell me their 2012 is coming up because I am so tired.
It was the year 2020. But nothing happened in 2020 that almost ended the world, right? I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that and that fucking blew my mind. If their calendar...
That makes so much
end of the world, 2020. Oh my God. Isn't that crazy? That's my favorite conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's true. I haven't looked it up, but I just heard that and I was like, that's nuts.
Honestly.
So with no research and no actual knowledge, that's the conspiracy theory that I believe.
Any year from like 2016 to now, I could believe.
But 2020, worldwide destruction. End of the world. End of the whole world.
Yeah. And it sure did end a lot of things.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, what's yours?
Well, that might be my new one. The conspiracy theory that I do fully believe, because it is true, is that aliens exist.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that will be a future episode.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not even a conspiracy theory. It's just like, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, not just that they exist, but that like we know that they exist.
I guess
like,
the conspiracy theory is like the Roswell thing, the fact Area that 51 thing. Yeah. I do feel like a lunatic saying that I know for a fact aliens exist. I don't know because I haven't seen them, but like just mathematically in the universe, like they have to exist.
Yeah.
I do feel a little crazy saying that, but I don't care.
Yep.
So that's that. Okay.
I do know a person that used to know a person that worked at the CIA. I'm keeping this very ambiguous.
Oh, I'm gonna need a name when we.
But they once told this person, I cannot tell you why, but you should believe in aliens.
What?
Yeah.
More details, please.
I can't.
Can you tell me later?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
No, we need to do our sign off. What the fuck? The closing segment. What happened?
I don't give a shit. We have things.
We're gonna go
discuss.
Get Bavarian filled donuts.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And
talk
about aliens.
That sounds.
What are you doing with your evening?
Nothing as good as that. No. Whatever you guys are doing. Sorry, it sucks. I did a bunch of research about something else, and then I had a flashback to all the times that you yelled at me for not making my closing segment uplifting. It was not uplifting.
Okay.
So I scrapped it, and I'm gonna give a few cute little facts about the moon.
Okay.
So it does kind of tie into the episode topic, but these are not conspiracy things. These are just cute little things. Mm-hmm. So the moon came into existence because a massive, I don't know what it's called,
ball of cheese
meteor situation. Ball of cheese. Do you think it would be a Parmesan cheese or like a cheddar cheese?
I think it would be a Swiss, right? Because of the holes.
Oh, Swiss?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the holes.
God, I hate
It's got the
Swiss
craters.
cheese. Do you like Swiss cheese?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but on certain things.
Like what? I feel like people are always trying to put it on like cheesesteaks.
No. I think it's a good with another cheese. Like it's a good partner cheese because it's a totally different flavor. So it brings in a different like type of.
Okay.
I haven't had it in obviously years. So.
Okay. Well, you're not missing out because it sucks.
Okay.
I've never liked it. Okay. I have that's a hard stance on Swiss cheese.
Okay.
There's no wiggle room. I will not be convinced otherwise.
Okay.
Swiss cheese is the worst cheese.
Wow.
So some large object collided with the earth many, 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 many years ago.
Yes.
Millions. Who knows how many?
Okay.
Could even be billions. And then all the rocky bits that came off of the earth during that collision. Don't make that face.
No.
They all formed into the moon, and it started rotating the earth and orbiting the earth is what I meant to say. And I did not know this. The moon stabilizes the earth's tilt.
Huh.
Like because of
nice
the
of it to do.
Gravitational pull, it keeps the earth like at the specific tilt, which makes our climate stable. So without the moon, we probably wouldn't exist.
Can we get another moon? Can we look into maybe acquiring a second or third moon? The climate stability. You and I are sweating in September.
The underlayer, like my neck is slick with sweat and the underlayer of my hair is just damp.
Can we call in a few other moons?
Look how shiny
I feel like Jupiter has enough that they could spare some.
Yeah.
Can we grab a few from them?
If we could just get something to pull us like even a mile away from the sun, I think would help. I mean, maybe it would have to be like 20 miles or even 100 miles.
Okay.
Or even 1,000 miles.
I think we'd definitely die at a certain point of there. But
at least it would be freezing to death is not a bad way to go.
Absolutely never.
This is how it happens.
Absolutely never.
You feel really cold for a while.
Yeah. And then you kill yourself because you can't stand it anymore.
And then you start to feel nice and toasty. Nope. And then you feel sleepy and then you feel relaxed.
Set yourself on fire.
Because your brain knows that you're dying, so it just releases a bunch of endorphins.
Right.
So then you just lay down.
That happens anytime that you're dying,
and
though,
you
right?
Just fall asleep.
So you can just do that, but like warm yourself.
Gosh, you and I, we're so different.
Yes.
So it not only controls our climate, which enabled life to flourish on Earth, it also controls the tides.
That I didn't know.
Which helped early life transition from water to land.
And then that one fucker stood upright.
Yeah, the bastard. And then it also slows Earth's rotation. So we have 24-hour days instead of like 40-minute days. Which, how crazy would that be?
Yeah, I can't.
I guess we'd be used to
time.
it. Yeah.
I need more.
Yeah.
Another moon.
I need like a 40.
I need another moon.
All of our problems would be solved.
Dude. I'm convinced now. Screw that's my new conspiracy.
Okay.
We need
so I
several
convinced you
more
of something.
Yep, for sure.
So there is God damn it.
Aston Martin?
Yeah. In 1972 called Charles Duke, and he was on the Apollo 16 mission.
Charles Duke?
Yeah.
Sorry, Duke as a last name is...
Yeah.
It paints a picture.
It sure does.
Mm-hmm. I can't picture Charles Duke not wearing a vest, with a pocket watch, like one of those pocket watches that you like pull out of your vest because it's got the little chain.
Like on a chain? Yeah.
For sure.
Those vests are always so tight.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sleeves are quite...
They have to be.
Billowy.
Poofy, yes.
Yeah. So this gentleman, this astronaut...
This Duke,
he took a family photo of himself and his wife and their 2 sons, and he took it up to the moon, wrapped in plastic, and he left it on the lunar surface.
Aww.
And he said, I wanted them to know I was thinking of them and that they were with me in a special way. So he left a family pic up there.
And then the Japanese came along and they were like, look at all this trash. And they took a photo of it.
They leave all their shit everywhere.
Fucking Americans.
But I think it's really cute that he took a... And also because that photo is from the 70s. It's 50 years old.
Nice.
So I think that's really cute. It probably has been bleached from just direct sunlight with no atmosphere to protect it, but it's the thought that counts.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So those are some cute facts about the moon. We love the moon.
We need more. It needs a friend.
Yeah. I'm down, honestly. You should talk to someone about that.
All right, my congressman.
Yeah. Write to NASA. Write to JAXA.
NASA. What did you call it? NASA?
NASA.
I'll write a parchment to NASA.
A parchment.
Fetch my quill.
You know what? Sometimes she's going to mispronounce things, and maybe stopping to make corrections is a little time consuming.
NASA is where Bill Nighy, the science guy.
Oh my God. Fuck, it's hot.
Okay.
Okay.
We should probably end the episode.
So while Kate just like cackles at me in a very rude way, the next episode we'll be talking about the downfall of polite society.
Yes. Manners. Lack of manners. The problem with the everything's dumb concept is that you need to say like I want it to be about how no one has manners anymore, but you can't say everything's dumb with manners.
Yeah, because then
Lack
it's like
of
manners
manners.
are dumb.
Yes.
Right. I feel like I've done a few
Rudeness.
episodes where I've...
Or
Yeah. Well, okay, so title TBD.
yes. We'll be talking about that.
We'll be talking about manners and how people don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening and watching. You can catch more audio episodes wherever you find your podcasts, and our video episodes are up on YouTube and Spotify.
Yep.
And you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Everything's Dumb Pod. Our email account is everythingsdumbpod@gmail.com.
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Has been this entire time.
I just haven't said it in so long. I forgot. And then if you have a topic you would like us to talk about,
Yes.
we would love to hear about it.
Yep.
So let us know. We would love to hear your dumb ideas. And if you don't submit your ideas, you will be getting a 12-part episode about American history.
Yep. We are going to
consider that a threat.
We will Ken Burns the fuck out of this podcast.
Yeah. I'm not afraid.
Nope. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Great. So keep listening, please.
That's a threat.
Okay. We will talk to you on Monday.
Okay, bye.
Bye.